think that looks scrummy? It looks like scrambled egg with chives on top, doesn't it? But it's actually not. It's scrambled egg, but not made with milk and no salt added. And it has some chopped up wheatgrass on top. And this is a little treat for the chickens this morning. Just because, one, I've got some eggs to use up, and two, the scrambled egg is good for them in that it provides protein, and Beryl is still growing in her feathers, so a little bit of a protein top up is good. So yeah, so they're having a little treat this morning. When I go out, they're going to have some scrambled egg and some chopped up wheatgrass. Another couple of things for the girls. We have generally called a sweetheart cabbage and a little half cob of sweet corn. So what I'll do with these is I'll put these in a sort of hanging vegetable feeder, and they can peck away at them all day. They won't finish the cabbage in one day. They'll have most of the sweet corn consumed though. And just having something in the hanging vegetable feeder gives them, it just occupies them. If you saw the last Chicken Tuesday, you'll see that I also sometimes have broccoli hanging up, and they have great fun pecking at the broccoli, and it spins around as they're pecking at it. So it just gives them some stimulation just to keep them entertained while they're eating, and getting some nice juicy nutrients from these, but also just keeping them occupied so that they don't get bored in their run. So it's early o'clock before work and it's still dark. So I've got the lights on at the quails, and I'm just about to go round to the chicken run and have a look in there, give it a wee clean out and check the girls are okay before I go to work. I can't wait for the later mornings. There's the quail. Where are you all? Hello. Right. Dark o'clock. Are you out, girls? Oh, they're still in their beds. Right, let me just hang up the light and we'll get organised. They're clever girls, so even although their automatic run coop door is open, they're still all huddled indoors. But when they hear me, hi girlies, and there's Beryl. There we go. Hey Beryl, do you want some? Oh, sorry about the camera work here. There we go. Oh, that's her. It's a little bit of scrambled egg. Hey girls. And it's the two grubbers, Hamble and Beryl, that are first out. And here's Edith as well. Matilda may or may not come out. She's not really that motivated by food, which is strange for a chicken. Hey Beryl, how are you? So I've been away for a few days, and my lovely friend Lisa has been looking after them, and they're fine. Yum yum yum, says Beryl. And while they're munching away there, I'll just show you this. This is, I can't remember if I've talked about this before. This is Garvo Alpha Mix, it's called. And it's a complete feed for chickens. So as well as little, hello you, little layers pellets, which contain all the nutrients they need for laying lovely eggs and keeping healthy. There's all sorts of other little bean pulses and seeds that add interest and keep them nice and healthy. Oh, look out here. It's dark. But little Robin, hello, is still here. Always on the watch for some nosh is our Robin. Oh, so yeah, so that's what they get ad lib. That just hangs about and they have a good old peck at that. Truth be known, the layers pellets are the least favourite of the contents of that, but probably the most important. So they do eat them, but they tend to go for the nice exciting seeds first. But they will get to the layers pellets. And just while we're talking about nutrition, really treats or additional food should be fed in the afternoon once the girls have had their fill of this. But for people that are at work like me, that just isn't feasible, because by the time I get home from work the girls have taken themselves back to bed. So I just have to put everything in the morning and they just help themselves in whatever order they so desire. And it works. It works for me and it works for them. It's easier come the summertime because it's light when I get home from work, so they're still out and about and they come out for a little rummage around the garden and then can have a treat before bed. And the idea of the treat before bed is to give them something that will be slow to digest and keep them warm, keep their body temperature stable while they are snoozing in what could potentially be a cool coop. And let's have a look at little Matilda. Oh, it's dark. Can you see her? I'll move away out of the way of the light. Hi. Actually, here's the light. Where do I stand? Oh, she's way out. Come on out and you can get some scrambled egg. Not that I think you're that bothered by it. Eh? Not that you're that bothered by it. So yeah, I'm here with the light on just so that I can check the chickens and so that I can clean them out and make sure that they're all set up for the day. Some people use light in their chicken runs and quail runs or whatever to give to kid on to the birds that there's more daylight than there actually is, and they do that so that the girls continue laying or start laying earlier in the year, because chickens and other birds need about 14 hours of daylight in order to stimulate them to start laying. I'm not doing that because I'll turn this light out once I've finished what I'm doing, and they'll probably just go back up into the coop. What I'm doing is just using this because it's convenient, so that I can get them done before I go to work. And particularly since Beryl has been going through all sorts of trials and tribulations with her health, it's important for me just to see her out and about and see if she's going to eat and check that she's not uncomfortable and just make sure she's a happy girl, which she definitely seems to be. Aren't you? I don't know how this will come out, given that it's dark generally, but hopefully you can see what I'm meaning. And if I just pan over here, you'll see that. Hi, Colin. Yes. I've always got my trusty companion here with me. Hello. Oh. Are you watching the birds? Hey, hi. Oh, there he is. There's the boy. Hello. Oh, he's a lovely boy. There. Oh, excuse you. And again. So yeah, this is weekday morning before I go to work. Oh, Beryl's going to have some mixed now. Right girls, I'm going to leave you to it. What I'll do is starting to just about get light enough for me to let them out later on if I scoot into work slightly later than I should. So I'll maybe see if before I go to work I can get a quick 10 minutes with them, just to let them have a leg stretch, but it's not quite at that point in the year yet, but we might manage it because I think it's quite a nice day. And if I do, I'll bring the camera out and you can see them out in the garden. You just stood in that bowl, didn't you, Beryl? Yes. Okay, it's got a bit later now. I'm spruced up and ready for work. But let's see if the girls fancy coming out for a quick 10-minute run around the garden. Hey girls. Hi. It's going to start raining, I think. So we need to be quick. Are you coming? Are you coming? Come on. Come on. Out for a wee brief meander. Come on. Come on. Now, quite rightly, the girls are cautious because it is still quite dull. Come on. Come on, Matilda. There, good girl. And as prey animals, they've got to be really careful about the environments that they roam around in and the light levels and so on, because they don't want to be here when Mr. Fox visits, do you? But I'm here, and I never let them in the garden on their own, particularly when it's quiet and early, you know, dawn and duskish. There we are. A little 10 minutes, then I need to go to work. A little bit of wind, hopefully it's not getting in the way of the sound of this video. And there's a lot of moisture in the air. It has rained overnight and there's a lot of moisture hanging around, but it's not cold. And it is January the 20th, I think. So I'm sure we're in for lots more cold weather, but today is really mild. There's a couple of months, really, December and January, when it's really hard to get the girls out during the week because it's dark when I go to work and it's dark when I come home from work. And similar with my husband, who does, you know, slightly earlier, you know, starts earlier, finishes earlier. So sometimes he's, you know, come February time, he'll be home in time to let the girls out for a little run. But December and January, it's not really feasible much other than what I'm doing today, which is a quick 10-minute meander, and that sort of makes me late for work, but I'll make up for it the other end of the day. So yeah, December and January can be a bit miserable for, not so much miserable for the chickens. They don't want to be out a lot in the sort of miserable winter weather. But miserable for us because we miss actually letting the girls out and interacting with them during the week. We let them out at the weekends, of course, when weather permits, because we've got plenty of light then, but during the week we sort of miss it because they're great. It's fantastic interacting with the girls. I've left the kitchen door open. Right, you lot. Oh, well done, Edith, you've not gone in. Right, out. That is chicken food. No, it's not. That's cat food. Out, 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 out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, girls. Yeah, horrors. Come on, stop congregating at the kitchen door. Let's go meander. Come on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Are you coming? Ooh, a wee bit of a breeze. Come on. Come on, girls. Come on then. Down here. That's the girls. Come on. Where's Beryl? Hi. Oh, there's Henry. Hi, Henry. Hello. There's a wee boy. Watch out. Chickens about. What are you watching? Oh, you're watching a squirrel. Yes. Can you see it just hiding behind that tree with his tail? So my protection around this bed is doing well. This is chicken protection, because they would be in here having a good scratch around if it wasn't up. I've got actually some overwintering onions in this bed. You can see them all popping up. And I've also got some elephant garlic, which is starting to come up as well, which is quite exciting. And last year's elephant garlic I had in that bed there. And unfortunately Edith, where are you, Edith? There she is. Edith managed to jump in and was so busy rooting around that she actually scythed off the tops of just about all of my elephant garlic, which was quite depressing, really. I think I only had 8 growing, and I think she got 6 of them she killed just in that 5-minute session. So yes, now she could jump over this. She could jump over this, so I'll just need to be a little bit careful as we let them out a little bit more. It might be actually I put some netting over this bed just to protect it from marauding chickens, particularly Edith. Oh, the things you do.